Hi, my name's Holly. I'm in Year 9 at Friends and I'm from Hobart. In Year 6, my friend told me about footy, which was a sport she was playing. My first game, I remember at the start I was pretty, well, I wasn't the best, I was pretty bad. But then when the game got more carried on, I got more confident. And I just realised in the first game how much I really liked it. Recently I sustained a concussion from footy which really impacted my life, but before that I actually got 3 other concussions. My first 3, I remember just being a bit tired first 3 days after it, and then I remember just being normal, it was only probably a week. I had just a bit of tiredness, nothing else. And then the recent one that has changed everything. I think it was 2 months. I had full-on symptoms troubled speaking, troubled looking at bright lights, slept more than I was awake. I couldn't stay awake more than a few hours. I just wanted to sleep. I had vomiting. That was probably in the first week. Just many symptoms. I've had many injuries before, physical injuries, and even though they were the most painful, my concussion, or brain injury now, is definitely the worst one because I look normal, but no. So if I'm in PE and I had an injury and I couldn't do it, they would understand. But when I'm in school and I can't do something, people are just why? And it's because I have a brain problem. They just don't realise, and you can tell they don't realise, and it's just really hard because I kind of feel I got really behind in school, and people were just they just didn't get it.
I'm Mike, I'm Holly's dad. Holly had a 4th loss of consciousness concussion injury in May 2019. It's tough as a parent, you want to support your kids in doing whatever they want to do, especially if it's sort of health or sport related. And I still, would support Holly in doing anything. It's just changed because now every activity she undertakes, we've got to do a bit of a risk assessment. She's changed, it's quite hard to talk about how she's changed. Holly was sort of straight out of the, sort of serious concussion book, I think. So the headaches, disorientation, significant difficulties concentrating and being able to remember things, that seemed to happen as per the script. Headaches for a couple of weeks, fatigue for a couple of weeks, but basically 4 to 6 weeks post injury was sort of back on board and appearing fairly normal. This time was very different, so the headaches, everything just lasted a lot longer, and I guess over time we just realised that Holly hasn't got back to where she was.
There's been months on end where I just didn't want to get up because I just knew this day was going to be hard. The other impacts it had was how when I got told I could never play footy again, just seeing all my friends play the sport they want to, and how this concussion probably could have been prevented but it wasn't. And I just find it hard just seeing people enjoy their sport and me just sitting back and not being able to do it.
So 15 months on, Holly's off school. She's trying some other sports, which has been great. So she's still, she's engaging as much as she can. She's wiped out most afternoons. As long as she doesn't overdo things, she tends to get through the day sort of okay. But it's clearly, on a bad day, it's still a struggle for her. She struggles in social situations, she struggles at parties, she can't go on an aeroplane. She's been on an aeroplane twice since the injury and been really impacted significantly after that event. So it raises a whole load of questions, I guess, moving forward in terms of, academic outcomes, academic capacity, even, the ability to travel. it's just harder life is harder for Holly than it used to be.
My parents are unbelievably supportive. Like there was times when I just didn't get out of bed. Like I just didn't want to face the day knowing that I'm just gonna like struggle. And they I don't know, they just like, if I wanted like to try something new, like a different sport or a different hobby, they would just instantly just like take me there and let me try it, because they saw how much I'm still struggling with not playing footy again. And my dad constantly is trying to find new ways to help me like get better. My dad has constantly been reaching out to BIAT, which has just been piecing stuff together and helping me and my family out.
I found out about BIAT through an internet search, and the quality, the communication's been great from BIAT. Straight away they were talking about potentially a mentoring program. It was reassuring to realise, I guess, for the first time after 14 months plus in the system that we weren't sort of alone, which is, I know obviously we're not alone, but it feels like you're alone when you just go from appointment to appointment. Nothing seems to be changing. To
break down concussion, I would just say I understand why people don't understand, because I look normal. I have seen people get frustrated with me, like my teachers, because I've just been like fatiguing, and I was in the classroom but I wasn't actually like in the classroom, like my brain was somewhere else, just trying to like get through the day. And I just wish there was more like patience and understanding with injuries that aren't physical.